Do you ever wonder why so many of us appear worried about money too much of the time? It's a universal fear. I don't care if you've got $500 in the bank or $5 million in the bank, or even $100 million in the bank, and I'll talk about that later. But it's a universal fear. We're all concerned about money. And so today's video, I'm going to talk about why that is, and most importantly, what you can do to get over that. So be sure to stay until the end, where I talk about some ideas, some ways that you can overcome your fear, your concern about money. It steals and it robs our joy from life, and it's time for it to end. So let's talk first about why I think that happens. I've been a financial advisor for over 20 years. I've advised hundreds of clients, and here's what I've learned. So the first issue is there's really no numerical goal with money. There's no solution. If you have X dollars, you're okay. And it just propagates itself and continues to feed on itself. I shared earlier, I don't care if you have $500, $5 million, or even $100 million. And where that last number, you're probably thinking, oh, come on, Azul. If I had $100 million, the last thing I'd worry about is money. But you know what? The data doesn't back that up. Boston College, about 15 years ago, did a study. It was done by their development office, people that reach out to donors. And they did a study of their ultra high net worth families. And you know what? And hundreds of families where the median net worth was just about $80 million. So these are ultra high net worth families, up to and including a family that had over $500 million. And when they ask families, are you comfortable with the amount of money that you have? And if you're not, at what point would you get comfortable? At what point would you feel secure? And the answer universally was 25% more. Now, again, the median net worth of this group was $80 million. And they did not feel that they were financially secure, that they didn't have to worry about money. So I don't care how much money you have. The solution to getting over this fear, the solution to getting over the concern, is not getting more money. Although that's nice, it's not gonna placate. It's not gonna pacify this fear. It's human nature, and we're going to talk at the end about what we can do to placate this. I've shared this story on a video before, but I think it's super relevant to today's discussion. I have a friend that's 30 years older than me. He was an investor in a company with me, and he actually, back then, people owned corporate jets. Wealthy people owned corporate jets. And he was fortunate enough that he owned a corporate jet. Now people use things like net jets. It's just a lot easier. But back then, he had a picture of a corporate jet in his conference room, and he and I were visiting. And, you know, obviously, if you have a picture of a corporate jet in your office, you want people to ask you about it. So I just pointed out, I'm a pilot. I love airplanes. You know, that's a beautiful corporate jet. And his answer floored me, and it's why I left the Bay Area. Or I shouldn't say it's why. It was the thing that got me realizing this just isn't a healthy environment. This is not where I want to raise my family. And his answer was, yes, it's a great jet, but you know, I can't go nonstop to Europe like so-and-so's jet can. And I left that meeting and thinking, you know, it just never ends. And you know what? It's true. It does never end. And that's what that Boston College study shows. The race never ends. If we want the race to end, if we want to feel comfortable with our money, we need to look at the world differently. We need to do things differently. And that's what I'm going to talk about next. But before I go there, hopefully you're enjoying this video. Do me a favor, hit the like button. It really does help other people find my channel, find videos like this. Okay, so the number two reason, and I want to dwell more into the problem before I get into the solution. The number two reason that people don't get comfortable with money is they're never feel this sense of security that we're all hoping for, is that they're hoping money can do something that money cannot do. Right? Money is a tool for all, and sorry, I'm getting a little preachy here. Money is a tool. And what money can do is money can put a roof over our heads. Money can put food on our tables. Money can help educate our children. They can provide some comfort for us in our old age. It's still gonna, be tough getting older, right? It's not for the faint at heart. But what money cannot do is it cannot give us happiness. It cannot give us purpose. It cannot give us meaning. We have to learn that on our own. And I'm gonna talk about that in just a minute. The third reason that I think people don't get comfortable with money, never get that kind of peace of mind. And again, I've advised hundreds and hundreds of families on this. So this is what I found. Another thing is people think that stuff is going to bring them happiness. They're going to buy nice furniture for their home. They're going to have nice artwork in their home. They're going to have a bigger house in the best neighborhood. They're going to have a fancy car. They're going to have a sports car. They're going to have a garage that can hold 5, 6, a dozen cars. Sometimes they think that, well, the money's not buying me happiness, so let me buy the stuff. And I can tell you the stuff doesn't buy you happiness. And in fact, I think it robs you of happiness. A little bit of stuff goes a long way. But if you have too much stuff, you become the caretaker for that stuff. And I know a lot of folks are thinking, that's a problem I'd like to have. And it might be fun for a while, but I have sat in many, many people's living rooms, including more than a handful of billionaires. And they will tell you that, they feel their life is being a good steward of the stuff that they own. They don't feel freedom. They don't feel joy from it. One sports car might be nice. And if you're going to buy one, you know me, buy a used one. You don't have to go out and spend $100,000 on it. You can get a nice used sports car. I bought one when I was in college, and I think that's the perfect time to buy a used sports car. And it needed some body work. It had been in an accident. And I took 6 months and I fixed it up. I bought that car very inexpensively. Over 3 or 4 years, I ended up selling it, and it cost me I sold it for $2,000 less than what I paid for it. So if you're gonna buy a sports car, I think the perfect time to have a sports car is when you're in college. Buy something that needs a little work, figure out how to fix it up on your own. It's a good skill to have. But don't go out and spend $100,000 on a sports car, please. And I shouldn't be that direct on that. If you love cars, spend your money wisely. Be sure that you're spending less than what you earn. And if it's your thing, then go ahead. You work hard for your money, but just think about kind of the trade-offs involved in that. Okay, now let's talk about what to do instead, right? More money is not going to make you feel comfortable. We talked about that. The more money you have, likely the goalposts are going to continue to move. If you say my goal is to have $1.5 million, when you get to $1.5 million, you're going to say, well, it'd be nice to have a buffer. And I agree, it is nice to have a buffer. So let's go to 2 million. And maybe that makes sense. But when you get to 2 million, I'm telling you, the temptation is to go to 3. And when you get to 3, it'll be to go to 5. And, well, if I just work one more year, and those are the 3 or 4 most dangerous words for you being able to take full advantage of the youth of your senior years. Remember, if you're 60 years old, if you're approaching 60 years old, you only have likely 1,000 weeks or less of healthy active time in front of you. And once your health is gone, your health is gone. So be careful chasing that goal. And you know what? Maybe 90% a goal is enough. We're adaptable as humans. If you have a number and you're 90% of the way there, and you and your spouse are ready and you want to take advantage of the youth of your senior years, maybe you just call it a day and say 90% is enough. But let's talk about what we can do to get over this lack of comfort with money. First, money's not going to provide that comfort, right? And here's what the studies have shown. Studies have shown that a life where you're working to help other people, a life where you're passionate about a problem and you're working to solve that problem, a life of service, whether the service is to other people or in pursuit of helping to solve a problem or a challenge that you're passionate about, or an organization that you're passionate about. For instance, that's kind of what my YouTube channel is, in full disclosure. I work with wealthy families, and my oldest daughter, who's a neat kid, gives her father a hard time and says, Papa, she calls me Papa, you are helping wealthy people get wealthier. And, are you really adding value to the world? You know, is there a way that you can give back and help more people that maybe can't afford to or don't want to hire a financial advisor? So that's really what this YouTube channel is about. So for me, that's part of my passion, and it's my passion now. And I'm really enjoying YouTube, and part of what I enjoy about YouTube are the comments that you all leave for me. So please do me a favor, leave a comment. It's kind of my currency, and leave a like for the video. But let's keep going. People that pursue a life of service, and it doesn't mean that you need to be a pastor at a church or volunteer every Saturday at the food bank. You know, those aren't my things, but this is my thing. I can do this, and we're all different, and we all have different gifts, and we all want to give back. But a sense of giving back, a sense of purpose, that's what people at the end of their life reflect back on and report more joy, more meaning, more purpose as they look at their life's journey, which I think is what we all want as we're approaching the end of our life, right? When we're on our deathbed, and hopefully that's 30, 40, 50 years away for us. We have a healthy journey, but we want to minimize regrets. We want to take full advantage of the youth of our senior years, but we also want to look back, reflect back, and say, you know what, that was a life well lived. We only get one life, and so we want to look back and say, that was a life well lived. I touched other people in a positive way. I helped out. The world's a slightly better place because I was here for the short period of time that you get to be here. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, if it was, give me a thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm find other people. As the kids say, thumbs for likes and subs for love. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. And until next time, I'm Azul, encouraging you to take full advantage of the youth of your senior years. Remember, you're only young once. Let's use our time wisely. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.